organized a Bay Area Science Education Partnership, which allowed teachers to come into our university labs and learn more about the process of doing science, got some of us who don't know anything about how to teach K through 12 into classrooms to meet with students, so students knew what a real scientist looked like and found out what scientists did. So better training is important. Another thing that's important is providing inspiration, that is allowing teachers and students to see what the scientific process is about, because science is not about textbooks. It's not about learning facts. It's about making discoveries and coping with the unknown. And it's an adventure, which is not always perceived when you read the average textbook that students are subjected to in order to pass standardized exams. That kind of inspiration comes frequently from museums, and Alan, in his role as the leader of the Lawrence Hall of Science in Berkeley and as leader of the New York Hall of Science here, has exemplified the importance of museums as places where teachers and students can get inspiration. About 15 years ago, a group of us at University of California, San Francisco, ran a symposium for the public about the recombinant DNA revolution called Winding Your Way Through DNA. And part of that symposium involved bringing students and teachers to the Exploratorium and to other places where special exhibits were available. The students and teachers came to the symposium, and that too provided inspiration, showing what science can do for society. This very evening at my own institution, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, we are hosting several hundred students and teachers from high schools and colleges in the New York metropolitan area to hear from our faculty about latest developments in cancer research. You're all invited if I don't go on too long. And at 6 o'clock, we will have some of our best faculty explain some of the new research they're doing with the intention of exciting students and their teachers about what science can do to alleviate the consequences of a disease like cancer. The final thing that's important in creating greater morale in the teaching community and providing incentives for people to become teachers and excel in teaching, especially in math and science, is to confer recognition of excellence. And that is the sort of thing that is exemplified by this award that the Sloan Foundation is distributing tonight. And I want to commend Paul and the foundation for doing this, because even though only a few can be winners, all can, first of all, exult in the victory or the anointment of some people to be the winners for this year. But it also sets a standard and shows that there is deep appreciation in the scientific community among leaders like Paul of those who excel in teaching. So I want to thank the Sloan Foundation for doing what it's doing, and I want to congratulate the winners again who've excelled in an environment that has its deficiencies, and wish all of you who teach science and math to our country's young to strive to achieve a level of excellence exemplified by our winners, because our country is dependent on what you do, and we all wish you well. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Dr. Varmus for making a very special effort to be here today to help us inaugurate these awards and to honor our 7 winners. This is the first year of what will be an annual program, and we received approximately 100 nominations from parents, students, teachers, supervisors, and others. And these nominations were checked out, and a final group was presented to the selection panel, who chose the winners we're about to recognize. The selection panel, and we were very careful about this, is made up of distinguished scientists, mathematicians, and educators, and we wanted the selection panel to mirror the excellence of our winners. You've already met one panel member, Alan Friedman. 7 others will be presenting the awards, and I would now like to introduce to you the chairman of the selection panel, Sheldon Weinbaum. Now, Sheldon Weinbaum is a native of Brooklyn, And these are the schools he went to: PS 92, Erasmus, then to Queens, Jamaica High School, and then Lincoln High School. There is obviously a story behind that we don't have time to go into. He is now a distinguished research professor at City University, is the author of over 200 publications. His research is recognized worldwide in these fields: mechanical engineering, fluid mechanics, bioengineering, chemical engineering, cellular biophysics, re-entry aerodynamics, and the transport and cellular level biochemical phenomena in the human body. And in several fields, he is celebrated for his groundbreaking discoveries, such as the Weinbaum-Gies equation for microvascular heat transfer. Obviously, he's been the recipient of a number of awards, but I'd like to underscore that he is only one of 8 living individuals who have been elected to all 3 U.S. national academies: the National Academy of Science, the National Academy of Engineering, and the Institute of Medicine. In addition to all of that, Professor Weinbaum has exhibited a lifelong commitment to ensuring that women and minorities are represented fully in the sciences. And for his leadership and accomplishments, the Fund for the City of New York recognized Professor Weinbaum in 1988 with the Sloan Award for Public Service. In 2009, in September, 2 months ago, he received the inaugural Diversity Award from the National Society for Biomedical Engineering. We could think of no better person to chair the selection panel than Professor Sheldon Weinbaum.
That went on too long. It is an extraordinary treat for me to participate in this inaugural event. Yes, I'm a product of the New York City school system. My children have all gone to, both my children have gone to public high schools, and most of my family has gone educated here in New York City in public education. I've also taught at City College for 42 years. It's a very long time. And eventually you pick up what it is to be a great teacher. I don't consider myself a great teacher. I may be a good PhD advisor, but a teacher in a classroom is a very special individual. It's a truly noble profession. It's a profession that I can tell you is so richly rewarding. When I look back at my own life, I can tell you that my biggest single satisfaction has been seeing the success of my own students. And if I was to turn around and look at both sides of this dais here, I would say that has to be true for all the people getting the awards today. There's nothing like having the feeling of your students succeeding. And that becomes, in fact, as you get older, more and more important. Now, there's going to be videos, short videos for each of the individuals. Their stories are really inspirational. The committee had a great deal of difficulty choosing these 7. And you can ask, how can 7 people change a school system? Well, what it's really about is creating a kind of inspiration. There are a number of principles behind me here today where, first of all, you have to give people recognition for doing something that is really quite unusual and encouraging of our young people. We are all different in being teachers. I have a colleague at City College who won the National Award for Engineering Education this year. I went to his classroom when I first came to City College. But it wasn't me as a person And I